Hey, cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button.
That technique is at least 150 years old. When they used to do it on a yellow pad, or before they had yellow pads, a white pad, and you get them to agree for every, is that how it looks? For every step. That is insurance sales door-to-door 101. Except now you can do it on a laptop. I don't know how you do it. And you can do I'm sure all you kids know how to do the graphics and all that shit, right? And you're poor. You can do graphics and Dan can't. So I pay somebody to do the graphics. But but he knows how to sell. And remember in the other webinar, I'm not going to lose a fucking director. I worked too hard to get him, and I reclose. And I reclose. And I remember that? That's also used car salesman 101. Reclose. And that's what he knows how to do that. Plus he doesn't look like a crook. Some of you have got a problem. Oh, I want to make a mention about your names. Somebody asked me about your names at the break or something. A few of you have got a name you ought to change. The dog just don't hunt. Does everybody understand dog don't hunt? Now I know we're in a PC world, right? But nobody's going to tell you your camel jockey name is offensive to them. Yet, your camel jockey name is offensive to him. I mean the person. Nobody's going to tell you that, except moi. And I don't have to tell you if your name is offensive. You know if your name is offensive. If your name is hard or difficult or whatever the fuck, change your name. We had a Abdul Muhammad, blah, 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 who's now David Jones. We'd have Mustafa, blah, blah, who now is Bill Smith. Anybody got any questions about your names? And don't do it at your own peril. Don't complain to me and then go on Reddit. Is it Reddit? Reddit and say, QLA doesn't work because my name is Mustafa bin Laden Saddam Hussein. We've had a Saddam Hussein come through this fucking seminar. 2.5 years. He couldn't get a deal done. I said, let me talk to a couple of the big accounting firms that you've talked to. I talked to one of the guys from the big 4 accounting firm, and he said, I'm here to talk about so-and-so. I want to talk to you about so-and-so. I really appreciate your time. I'm telling him, I'm not taping the call. I told him, is such and such a name the reason why you haven't done the deal? He says, yes, Mr. Peña, but we'll never tell him that. Racism is alive and fucking well in corporate world. And if you're so fucking stupid not to know it, you deserve to stay poor. Because we're not going to change the world. So be careful who you bring on as chairman. Not just your fucking name. Does anybody not understand what I just said? This is not a perfect world. We got guys like assets clinging on to the toilet bowl as it goes down with the last turd. Okay, comments, questions about Thomas. Now he's not, oh, by the way, I don't rate him at even near 100. He's maybe 75 or 80. That should scare most of you. I wasn't even 100. I was maybe 95. And I was the best that ever came down the fucking road. When you have a 94.6% closing ratio, you've never known anybody even with a 50%. You've never heard of anybody with a 50%. Thomas, comments. Yes, sir, in the back.
So he believed in the process 100%. And
No, he doesn't believe in the process at all. He was just out there bullshitting. Of course he believes in the process 100%. He's going to buy an $8 million house now and move out of his, the caravan next to yours. Have you ever seen Josh Kim's house? The plans for his house? You know, in the movie The Avengers, the scientist guy that's got the house on the side of the hill, that big, that's it. And you're in your caravan. You know, you got to empty out the septic tank every 6 weeks. How can these kids make all this fucking money? How? Without a gun. And you didn't yet. Other question? No more questions about that? Yes, sir.
Put the plan in place whilst we're here at the castle and then execute when we get back home.
Pardon?
Put the plan in place whilst we're here at the castle and then execute as soon as we get back home.
Remember what one of the kids on the webinar said? They went home with Josh, and Josh was doing it on the train on the way home. He was implementing the plan. He had worked. The Viking bitch, I believe, did the same. Guys, if we were at war, you'd be dead. This is fucking war. You either take it seriously or you don't. That 19-year-old kid in Germany, no less. So I tipped my hat to the kid and I wrote Andreas an email, tell the kid congratulations, because I know what it takes to get these done in Germany. Then I asked the question, does everybody involved know he's 19? And I wanted the answer before I shared it with you, and the answer is yes. All the board members know he's 19. The accountants, the lawyers, everybody knows he's 19. Which is fucking astonishing to me. I mean, whatever word transcends astonishment, that's what it is. But that's how good the motherfucking system is. That's how fucking good it is. Any other questions about? Yes, sir. Takeaway.
Yeah, I think probably the most important point he reiterated was to have blind faith in the process. And I think it leads into what you said. We don't really need to get why.
No, but see, you all still, I can see, I told you to have a camera up there. Remember, I can see it in your eyes. Some of you in the back here still probably think, I paid Thomas. He's not real. He's a hologram. For those of you that are older, for you to accept QLA, you have to admit you have wasted your entire fucking life. You should have never been fucking born. That's from assets down. You should have never been fucking born because you've wasted your, vis-a-vis generational wealth building. You have wasted your entire motherfucking life. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Even if you got a few bob. You got that arbitrage? Now you didn't see like this. You didn't see how he said yes. But his chin moved maybe a centimeter. In acknowledgement. Because it's this, Thomas is what keeps me doing this. But Thomas doesn't come around that often. And I even got Andreas now. It'd be a better story if Thomas was a German. I'm going to have to go back and see what his lineage is. Anything else about Thomas? Or the 19-year-old, for that matter. It's pure and simple. I mean, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, knowing how conservative the Germans are, it's astonishing that a 19-year-old could convince anyone to do anything.
It's beyond astonishing. I mean, fuck. All the Germans I know wouldn't fucking give him the time of day. Not even the time of bloody day. And the fact, now see, I believe it because Andres tells me. If I get email. And Andres is very careful. He's a very careful German. Yeah, well, I've worked with Andres a couple of years now, so I believe he's careful. And when Andres tells you it's, 5:51 p.m., it's 5:51 p.m. And I'm looking forward to meeting the kid. But the system bloody ass works. There's no question about that. And again, and it bloody works. It's the Corona special. You're like on the Hyperloop train, and you're the only ones on it. Everybody understands, the train, okay, you're on the bullet train. That's what I'm trying to say. You're on the bullet train. And it's all first class suites. By the way, my last birthday, I was on the Orient Express with Sally. My last birthday. This birthday, we're going to be hermetically sealed in some secret place in a few days. That we, instead of not on a plane and not on a cruise ship. But I mean, you're on a super train and there's nobody else. And it's the bullet train to Shangri-La. Literally. It's the bullet train to Shangri-La. It's quite remarkable. And I'm proud as hell of Thomas. I'm proud of the 19-year-old kid. I haven't even met him. But I'm proud of him. Because I know what it takes, especially in the fatherland. The fatherland, I mean, I want to call that partner of that Big Four accounting firm and ask him, what the fuck are you, are you crazy? Are you the next Hitler or what? I don't understand. And he's using all the professional representation's name. They must think he's the next God. Because the risk associated with doing business with a 19-year-old is motherfucking high. Does everybody understand that? He could wind up being a rapist murderer in the front page of the newspaper next week. Because the smartest, most mature 19-year-old on the planet is still 19. And we all know what that means. At best, he's a loose cannon. At best. At worst, he's a psychopath. But I couldn't be happier for him. I mean, and I can't wait till he does his first deal. Okay, anything else about Thomas before we go into affirmations? Okay, YouTube. Go fuck yourself.